Yeah. Unknown Brain. Marvin Devine. I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
Yo, 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 what up? Erick and Brad Show, episode 79. Erick and Brad Show, episode 79. This is gonna be a weird one. Hey, it's a solo Brad Show. Erick's gone, it's just me. Here we go. Episode 79, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Pandora. Rate, subscribe, like, follow, whatever you gots to do. Do's it, baby. This is going to be a weird one. We're going to talk about movies. We're going to talk about apps that we need to delete off of our phones that Brad is sick of. We're going to talk about new Kanye documentary. Woo! And who else? Who knows what else we're going to get into? It could go anywhere. There's no direction today. My phone is dead and all the topics are on that. So we'll see what happens. What up, yo? Episode 79.
I ain't even tripping cause I just chose to believe that somebody gon' come around and give me just what I need. I don't wanna see you finally, see you looking down and out. Coming to me crying, saying you miss having me around. Gave you chances and you blew it. You so easily influenced. All the times you told me beat it, now you gotta face the music. I'm saying I know that I gotta stay away from my
Yeah. Erick and Brad Show. ErickandBradShow@gmail.com. Email us topics. You can say, hey, I want you guys to talk about Vladimir Putin. Or I want you guys to talk about the new Batman movie. Something. And guess what? We will. Whenever we do a show, we will. It's just Big Brad today. No Erick. He's a busy man. Is that a bad thing? No, it's not. Our episodes have been getting sporadic as far as release dates. Is that bad? No. It's not bad. I welcome it. I've welcomed this break, this choppiness of episodes. Because guess what's more important than the show? Family, careers, mental health. Huh? These things are more important than the show, so it's alright. I've welcomed it. Plus the fact that it's wintertime and it's cold as balls. And I usually don't have very many topics in the winter. I don't know what to talk about. My brain's frozen. And with a frozen brain, it's hard to do a podcast with a frozen brain. You need a brain that's at like 98.6 degrees or something like that in order to do a show. Welcome, episode 79 of the Erick and Brad Show. It's a good day so far. It's Friday, February 25th. We're almost done with February. Thank God. And so that's a good thing. I went to the chiropractor today, got my back all straightened out. I had a man twist me up in a pretzel and fucking jump up and down on me and crack my shit. And it's good because my back feels like a human back again and not like a burning old moldy barn. I don't even know if that makes sense. Episode 79, here we are. How many times are you going to start the show? No Erick today. He's working, and that's okay, dude. He's working for the weekend. Fucking lover boy. And that's fine. I don't care about the show. I don't care if the show gets canceled every weekend. That's fine with me. I welcome it because it's healthy and it's better than stress and stressing over the goddamn show. The show will be here. It's always going to be here whenever we want to do it. Take 6 months off. I don't give a shit. Fine with me. Look how far we've made it, episode 79. That's good with me. You know what I'm saying? That's perfectly fine. All right, let's try to get into something here. Oh, so 2 weeks ago was the Super Bowl. Our last episode, we did the Super Bowl preview. So the Super Bowl happened. I immediately got contacted after our Super Bowl preview show. Boy, forgive me. I haven't done a show in like 3 weeks, let alone a solo show. I got contacted immediately by multiple people right after our last episode saying, the fucking national anthem and the Star Spangled Banner are the same thing. And I said, no, how can that be? Because I said Jhené Aiko was singing the Star Spangled Banner and Mickey Guyton was singing the national anthem. And people are like, it's the same fucking thing, stupid. And I'm like, no, it's not, you're stupid. And then I Google it. Oh, fuck, it is the same fucking song. Way to have multiple names for one song. That makes a lot of sense. Because Stairway to Heaven is also called, whatever. Let's just have one name for each song. The world is confusing enough. But anyway, Jhené Aiko sang America the Beautiful, and Mickey Guyton sang the national anthem, which is the Star Spangled Banner. And then I think there's another song called God Bless America. That there's 4 names now for 3 different songs. Make it more confusing. Please make it more fucking confusing. But Jhené Aiko singing the America the Beautiful at the Super Bowl, in my opinion, was the most beautiful fucking version of America the Beautiful that I've ever heard in my life and that I probably will ever hear. I mean, people talk about getting choked up for the national anthem. Dude, I think someone was in my kitchen cutting onions during America the Beautiful. And I think a lot of it has to do with Jhené Aiko and what she means to me, because I've been a fan for a long time or whatever. And I think that had a lot to do with it. And then just the fact that she made it her own. And for Jhené fans, she made it her own, like it was a Jhené song. So it's like we were just listening to Jhené Aiko music during that fucking America the Beautiful. And I went back and rewatched it. Oh my God, I thought it was just incredible. And the halftime show, in my opinion, how I nerd out over halftime shows, I have my personal top 5 ranking, and I will say that that halftime show is moved up to my number 2 spot in halftime shows, which is a big deal, with Prince still being number 1. Can't knock that one out of there. That's still number 1, but I think, in my opinion, this one was the most special. It was just so special to me, to everybody. I mean, it was just the most special fucking halftime show that I've ever seen. I loved it. I was very nervous when it started. I was so fucking nervous just for them, and I was like, oh my God, please, we can't screw this up. We can't screw this up. Please, I hope everything goes okay. And everything went great. And the 50 Cent surprise I thought was perfect. I was like, as soon as I heard the song, and then you see him there hanging upside down, I'm like, it had to be. It had to be him. It just had to. There's going to be a surprise, and I'm like, who is the surprise going to be? It had to be him. It was always him. It was always going to be him. And it was just great. And it was just special. And I thought it was the most special halftime show that I've ever seen. So it's moved up into my number 2 spot behind Prince. I've gone back and rewatched it. It was just so special. I thought it was great. Let's see. So that Super Bowl happened. I think that same weekend I went back to the movies. I haven't been to the movie theater in a long time. And it was 2 days before the Super Bowl, or the day before, I went and saw Jackass Forever. And I'm not a crazy big Jackass fan or anything like that. But I had wanted to see it, so I went to see it. I spilled a bunch of popcorn. Because, and it wasn't because I was laughing or anything like that. It's because I get there early. I get there to the theater before I don't want to get there while the previews are running, because then the theater's all dark kind of already. And it's I can't maneuver around where I'm going to sit or what kind of people are in there or whatever. Like, I got to keep eyes on everything. So I like to get there and, let the people filter in so I can keep track of everybody. And, I have the situation under control. And usually when you get to the movie theater before the previews have started, boy, if my mic is too loud, I apologize. This thing over here under the video is showing my mic's really loud, and then my audio thing over here is showing that it's like perfect. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know how it's going to turn out. I think I can fix it if it turns out bad. Anyway, I get there early. I get popcorn because I do get popcorn there. I get popcorn and a bottle of water every time. Popcorn and a bottle of water. Because I'm not going to be some scumbag drinking soda, some fucking, lowlife, some strap hanger, So I get popcorn and a bottle of water, try to offset the unhealthiness of the popcorn with the healthiness of water instead of just going back-to-back unhealthy. So I get my popcorn and a bottle of water. I'm going to the theater, walking down the thing to the actual theater, and the doors are already closed. Usually, like, before the preview starts, the doors are wide open and propped open, and then when the movie starts, the people working there close the doors. But the door's already closed, so I'm holding my popcorn and my water, and I open the door up, and I step in, and the door is so goddamn heavy that when I swing it, it doesn't keep swinging. It just, like, stops where I stop. Where I take my hand off of it, the door stops, and then it comes back and bumps me, and I go, and spill a bunch of popcorn in there, and I'm like, shit, fuck, everybody be quiet. And then and nobody saw me, so I'm like, god damn it, just find a seat. And so that happened. And I thought it was good. It was a lot of dicks and balls and semen in Jackass Forever, but I suppose that's what you should expect. It was like, I have now seen Steve-O's cock and balls on the big screen, zoomed in on the big screen, and I'm like, when are they going to cut away from this? And he's like picking the balls up, seeing where he's cut, where he's bleeding and stuff, and I'm like, okay, cut to the next thing, cut to the next scene here. But so now I've seen that, so I can check that off the fucking non-existent bucket list. But it was really nice just to see, like, all those guys back together and doing it again. And, it's been like 20 years since the first one or some shit like that. And I'm never a big Jackass fan, but I've, like, seen all the movies and whatnot. So there was, like, a nostalgia factor. Like, I never watched it on MTV or whatever because we never had MTV. Like, I've never had MTV, like, in my entire life or any kind of really, like, dish or anything like that. So I never watched it there, but I'd seen the movie, so it was like a nostalgia factor, and, you love those guys, so I wanted to go support the guys. The people in the theater laughed a lot. I only laughed at one particular, like, skit. The others just make you smile or make you go, like, ah, or they just kind of make you smile, but one of them I really laughed at, and it was fucking so funny, and I think if I saw it again, I was, like, laughing and, like, wiping tears out of my eyes, because I was like, oh my god, it actually got me. It got me to laugh. It was where, like, they told these two guys that they were coming into this room to sit on a couch to watch, like, Johnny Knoxville get bit by this poisonous, deadly, big-ass snake. So they were just going to be the audience. So they brought the guys in, sat them down, picked the snake out of this bucket, showed them this giant fucking snake, and it's like, psh, it's like rattling, and they're like, and the guy's like, this is the most goddamn deadliest snake in the world or whatever, and it's huge. And they're like, holy shit. And then they put the snake back in the bucket, and it's still like rattling. And then everyone runs out of the room and closes the doors and locks the doors and shuts the lights off in there. So the guys who thought they were just going to be audience members were now stuck in that room. But then there was a couple other guys in that room with night vision that, the audience member guys didn't know they were going to be, that there was other people in the room, but they were in there with night vision. So you're watching these guys in night vision. They take the real deadly snake out of the room and they replace it with a fake one. And then they're like throwing it at the guys, like in pitch blackness, and just the pure terror on their faces that they were like banging on the doors like, let me out, and then they just get hit with this fake snake, and they'd still be playing audio of like a rattling snake, and you'd be like, oh my god, dude. It was so fucking funny, I thought. And then there's one door that's unlocked, and they're like, And he's like yelling back to the other guy, dude, this door is unlocked. And the other guy's like just in the corner, like down on the ground, like, no, it's not. Fuck you. Turn the lights on. And he's like, dude, I found this unlocked door. I'm taking it. And goes running through it. And then, of course, there's a bunch of mouse traps on the floor. And it's just like, bah, 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 bah. It's like, dude, those guys are going to really be traumatized for a long time from that. That one got me. But the other ones, just make you smile or whatever. It was entertaining. It was fine. And during it, before the movie, I saw a preview started, and I was hoping to fucking blow Erick's mind with this whole fucking thing that I'm about to say, but like a preview started, and you just hear the something in the way, and I'm like, it's Batman. I'm like whispering, like it's Batman. And I've been trying to avoid like real trailers for this new Batman movie because I'm like, stop showing me images and trailers and stuff like that. I don't want to see anything before I'm going into it. They're already doing it now with this new Christopher Nolan movie, Oppenheimer. It's going to be a fantastic film with the main guy from Peaky Blinders, but like a bunch of other people are in it. And this new Christopher Nolan movie, Oppenheimer, they're already showing like images from it. I'm like, stop doing this. Like 6 months before a big movie comes out, they're showing trailer after trailer, and I'm like, enough. I don't want to see this. I want to go in knowing nothing. But I'm like, well, I'm stuck in the theater now. They're about to play this Batman trailer in front of me, and you hear like the Nirvana something in the way, and I'm like, it's Batman. And then I'm like, oh my god. So I watched this whole trailer, and then you heard the Joker's voice in the trailer, and as soon as I heard the Joker's voice, I know the voice because it's Paul Dano, and I know it's the Joker's voice. My blood fucking ran cold. I was like, oh fuck, dude. I'm like, no, not the Joker, the Riddler. I'm sorry, the Riddler. When I heard the Riddler's voice, my fucking blood ran cold, and I'm like, oh dude, I was like frozen. I'm like, that is so fucking crazy. I'm like, this movie is going to be so crazy. And then I'm seeing it online, and it was a fine trailer, great trailer. Like, it looks so dark and fucked up and like a horror film. And I've heard so many crazy things of like in screening, like critics being screened the movie and people being like, ah, and like whatever. And cause shit is so fucked up. And I'm like, this shit is going to haunt me. Like, this Riddler is going to give me fucking nightmares. And I'm so ready for it. And then I'm seeing online that it's 2 hours and 55 minutes long. And I'm like, 2 hours and 55 minutes? I'm like, this movie is a classic movie already. I'm certifying it classic right here, right now. In the words of Erick Beavers, hands down, it's a classic. Hands down. Dude, I cannot. This is the most anticipated movie. If Avatar 2 really comes out in the end of this year, like, I'm anticipating the shit out of that, because you cannot deny the great James Cameron. Who cares about Avatar? But I'm anticipating that shit. But this Batman movie, dude, I cannot wait. Like, please, God, let me stay alive until I see this movie. Please. Let me stay alive until I see this movie. Please. And then you can take me. You can take me after this. Just let me see this fucking movie, and then you can fucking take me. Because Paul Dano as the Riddler. Paul Dano is such a good fucking actor. He was in Little Miss Sunshine. He was in this crazy fucked up movie with Hugh Jackman called Prisoners, which fucked me up. That I watched once. I can never watch again because it traumatized the fuck out of me. Mainly Paul Dano. And then he was in There Will Be Blood. Obviously played that Eli kid, that preacher. Oh my God, he's the real deal. And then I'm seeing articles saying he went through like psychological fucking hell for this role, like some sort of psychological fucking hell. And I'm like, fuck. And so he is going to kill this. He is going to fucking murder this goddamn movie. It's already a classic role, already a classic movie. Like 2 hours and 55 minutes. Robert Pattinson, now, let's be honest, who's playing Batman now. Honestly, for me, the jury is still kind of out for him. Now, I think extreme film buffs or whatever, or people in Hollywood would disagree with me for that. They would fucking light the pitchforks, light the torches, grab the pitchforks, run my ass out of town for saying the jury's still out on Robert Pattinson. But I hated those Twilight movies. I hated them. Oh my god, they're so fucking terrible. And I'll be the first one to tell you that I love the idea of a vampire, like the dark, sort of romantic, tortured concept of your traditional vampire. But those Twilight movies fucking sucked. And then the only other thing I think I've seen him in is Tenet. And he was great in that. But he wasn't the main role. That was John David Washington, who is a great actor. Robert Pattinson was a supporting role. He was great in it. But, the jury's still out. And I mean, I can't wait to see him do this, because it seems to me like almost every actor's dream role, kind of like to play a serial killer, maybe, or like Batman. I think could be like every actor's kind of dream fucking role. Maybe, I mean, more so probably the Joker or the Riddler might be more of like a dream fucking role to really get your teeth around and flex all your acting abilities. But I think Batman's a big one too. So I'm very excited to see him in this movie. I'm sure after it, I'll be like, oh, I'm completely sold on Robert Pattinson. He's fucking phenomenal. But as it stands right now, the jury's still out because of Twilight and how so terrible those movies were. This movie is going to be a fucking classic. I can't wait. I'll pay for my whole seat in the theater, but I'm only going to use the edge. All right? I'll pay for my whole seat, but I'm only going to use the edge. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be showing up with a smile and a fucking rock hard cock, and I'm going to be ready for that. I don't even know if I should get popcorn. Like, 2 hours, 55 minutes, I'm fine. For one, I'm going to be going to the bathroom a lot before the movie. I'm going to stop drinking liquids, at like noon or whatever, because I'm not fucking leaving that theater. I will piss in the theater if I have to. And I'll pay for my whole seat, but I'm only using the edge. Yeah, I can't wait. Oh my god, it's going to be so fucking good. I'll pay for my whole seat, but I'm only using the edge. You know what I'm saying? Oh my god. When I heard the fucking Riddler's voice, I was like, oh, frozen fucking like, oh my god, I can't wait. 2 hours and 55 minutes. That's so good. If this movie was like an hour 40, I would be like, I'm not even fucking going. You know what I'm saying? 3 hours. Come on. That's how you do it. That's how you fucking do that shit. And with the Nirvana fucking song on the trailer, God, I hope that song's in the movie. And the director's saying like, and I'm not going to put too much weight on this, but the director's saying that like he listened to a lot of Nirvana while he wrote this movie, and he sort of used Kurt Cobain as like a muse, I guess, for the Batman character in this. I'm not going to put too much weight on that. Because I don't really know what the fuck he's talking about. But I like it. But I mean, that sounds kind of cool to me because it sounds kind of dark and fucked up. Oh my god. The only thing that I wish was different is I think this movie's PG-13, and I wish that it would have been R. And I think the only R superhero movies are oh my god, not Daredevil. Oh, fuck. Dude, podcast brain, where you're on a podcast and you can't remember something fucking Deadpool. I think the only rated R superhero movies are Deadpool. I wish they would have just went with R on this and just made it and just went all the way. But they didn't, and I believe it's PG-13. And look, The Dark Knight was PG-13. That fucking Joker character is scary enough. So this movie, and I said this to a few people, and they didn't like it. One of them started swinging on me as soon as I said it. This Batman movie is gonna get close to the Dark Knight, and I know that's like, everybody wants to fucking start swinging if you say that crazy shit in public. They'd be like, get the fuck out, and they fucking start swinging and fucking start throwing things at you, tomatoes and whatnot. Fucking fuck you, asshole. It's gonna be close to it, in my opinion. It's not gonna surpass it. You shouldn't say this in public, but it's like you say it in like the shadows, in the shadows. Be like, this movie is gonna be close to fucking Dark Knight, dude. It's gonna be close to it. Oh, I can't wait, dude. I'm gonna pay for my whole seat, but I'm only gonna use the edge, baby. All right, now I need to find my phone and see. what our other fucking topics are going to be. We're not going to talk about war today. We're not going to do it. We're going to use this as a distraction from the war. So there's a couple apps that are loved by America and by the people that listen to this show, including myself, but not anymore, because we need to delete them. And you're listening to this and you're saying, you better not be talking about one certain app, because I'm not fucking deleting that shit. Well, guess what? I am talking about it. But let's talk about the first one first. Dude, okay, first of all, Tinder. Okay. The married people don't care about Tinder, yet I think they'll be entertained by sort of what life is like on Tinder these days for a single person. It's terrible. Have I met girls off of Tinder? Yes, I have. You know the last time that happened? 2015 was the last time I met somebody off of the app called Tinder. Other than that, it's just been swiping and extremely brief chatting that lasts for like one day and not the next day. So, it's gone to complete shit. Okay. It used to be functional and practical. It used to be just more, I don't know, realistic. It is now a shitstorm cesspool of robots and prostitutes. Like, it's just stupid. Somewhere over the past year, it became to where you'd match with somebody on there, a girl, and then they'd send you a message, and the message they send is just their Snapchat name. It doesn't say, this is my Snapchat name. It doesn't say hello and then the Snapchat username. It's just the Snapchat username. So for like, hey, Brad, turn your phone off. Jesus Christ. So for like, I don't know, half a year, I thought this was just spam. Like, it was just like bots sending me some sort of code. Because it's just like SLVZ98. And I'm like, okay, block. And I'm like, I don't get it. I don't get why they're sending me just gibberish. Or like Allison74 or something. And I'm like, what is this? And I'd respond, what is this? And then I wouldn't hear anything back. And I'm like, what? And then I realize that now people just match on there and then send a Snapchat username. And I'm like, oh my God, what is this come to? On top of that, I have now been contacted by 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 different prostitutes on Tinder in the past 6 months. And they just say, hi. I'm like, hi. And they're like, interested in hookup? Question mark. Premium BJ? Question mark. And then I'm like, no. And they're like, are you sure? Question mark. Hookup? Question mark. Premium BJ? Question. And I'm like, no, I'm not interested in hookup or premium BJ. Get the fuck out of here, dude. God damn, my fucking phone is driving me insane right now. Crypto is just sending me constant bullshit. Dude. For one, here's the thing. I'm the last guy that will ever, talk shit about sex workers. Because I think they're extremely important. I'm not trusting a prostitute that's going on Tinder and finding clients. For one, it's probably a cop. For two, it's probably a dude who's going to rob you. So no, I'm not interested in hookup, question mark, premium BJ, question mark. No, get out of here, Satan. Get the fuck off my fucking phone. And it's like, This is all it's turned into. It's just girls sending their Snapchat username and that's it, or prostitutes saying hook up ? Premium BJ ? Dude, no, I'm not interested in that. I'm not fucking interested in that. Fuck off. The good girls are on Bumble. Bumble, I think, is still, and I have my reasons for this. Never met anybody off Bumble, but Bumble is still practical. It's still realistic, I think. The thing about Bumble is their whole thing is that guys can't send a message first. Girls can only send a message first. That way girls aren't just getting fucking bombarded by guys like they probably are everywhere else on the internet. Bumble, the girl has to send the message first, and then messaging can continue. I think there's still life there that's not just bots and Snapchat usernames and prostitution saying hook up ? Premium BJ ? So I think that's the case. However, Tinder, lost cause. Like it's done for. So whatever they're, I don't know if they're on the stock market, whatever, sell your goddamn Tinder stocks immediately, because I'm telling you, it's done for. Bumble still can keep going strong, in my opinion. I'm gonna step away for 1 second. All right, I'm back. Oh man, so yeah, Tinder, no good. Delete it off your phone. The other app that I'm done with, and people aren't gonna like this, yeah, it's TikTok. I'm fucking done with it. Dude, I don't know if people remember Vine, but Vine was better than TikTok. It was 6-second videos, and it was great. And I made a bunch of Vines, and I watched a bunch of people's Vines, and this was before Instagram had the video capability. And as soon as Vine got popular, Instagram then added video to it. Just like as soon as Snapchat got popular, Instagram added those stories on Instagram. Vine was better than TikTok. I remember watching Vines and thinking, I'm so proud of humanity. For you give people the ability to make 6-second videos, and the large amounts of creativity that I was seeing on there and originality, I was like, this is so great. People are so creative and so original and like surprise me every fucking step of the way. You give them this app to make 6-second videos, and people just ran with it, and they were like amazing and hilarious and whatever. Mainly hilarious. Mainly it was all comedy. It wasn't like, a minute of someone delivering an opinion on something, on fucking foreign policy or right-wing politics or left-wing politics. It was like 6-second videos. They were basically all just centered around being funny. And I thought it was great. Then Vine dies and TikTok comes. And what I'm seeing now, and in the beginning of TikTok, I got that same sort of feeling around it, that people were being like, their creativity was shining. It's done now. It's fucking dead. And yeah, fuck you. Fucking TikTok's awesome, you fucking asshole. Fruitcake. Good, dude. It sucks. It's stupid people trying to make more stupid people angry. Stupid people making stupider people trying to make them angry. That's all it is. It's that, and the hot girls jumping up and down it's still there, but it's like not as much. The amount of videos that make me laugh on TikTok, it's like 1 out of maybe 50. 1 out of maybe 50 at this point. It's like, God, this fucking app sucks. So we need to fucking delete it. I'm calling for the deletion off of our phones of the app. Have I deleted it yet? No. But if someone wants to delete it with me, I'll fucking delete it with them. We need to get Erick to delete it. because it's fucking stupid. There's no more originality. All the videos I see that are trying to be funny or unique is just a copy of what somebody else already did. So all the videos are just a copy of a copy of a copy, or they're stupid people trying to make stupider people more angry, or they're just videos of fucking nothing or something like that. I'm like, this shit sucks. The name TikTok doesn't even make sense. It's something a noise that a clock makes. It's also a Kesha song from like 2009. What does TikTok have to do with fucking video swiping or whatever? It has nothing to do with it. It's a terrible fucking app. There's no more originality, no more uniqueness. It's all just people copying each other. Now, I'm not seeing anything fucking good on there. It's your fucking algorithm, dude. You fucked up your algorithm. No, I didn't, motherfucker, because people send me TikToks too, and I'm still not seeing any originality, and I'm still not seeing anything that makes me laugh. It's a terrible fucking app. Vine was way better, just like MySpace was better than Facebook, and that's a hill that I'll fucking die on forever. It was way better than Facebook, and Vine was better than TikTok, because TikTok is terrible. I'm sorry. I'm fucking sorry. Hands down. Hands down. It's terrible. It's so dumb, and I'm done with it. Do I still use it? Yeah, I still fucking using it, but now I'm just like hate swiping. It's just dumb. It's like the amount of good stuff on there is so slim, and it's getting slimmer. It's just so, well, you follow people. Yeah, the people I follow, I do like. I follow a couple people on there that I do like, and I'll open the app to see their videos. But then when you just cross over into the infinite scrolling of the For You page, I'm like, oh, this is just terrible. And I get that I'm in the minority, the small minority. Let me tell you a story. And I don't know how much this really even applies to this other situation, but it sort of comes to mind. I'm going to say January or February 2018. Now, this is really a stupid, crazy-ass story, but it's something that I did that I've stuck to, that I've stuck to. I used to post on Snapchat all the time to my friends, to the people on your friends list. I'd make I'd post to my story or whatever, and I really put a lot of thought into it. And in my opinion, it was one of the greatest fucking Snapchat accounts of all time. I've really made it entertaining for people. I tried to, and a lot of people told me that it was entertaining. I'd put a lot of great shit on there. One day in like January, February 2018, in the middle of the night, I remember this moment, but I messaged all these messages to this girl and on Snapchat, and then shortly after, I regretted sending those messages, and the person wasn't awake at the time; they were asleep. So it was one of those situations. It's like there's an episode of Seinfeld where George leaves messages on this girl's voicemail, and he's like panicking, so he's calling over and over and over, calling, and then he realizes she's like out of town or something, and all these messages are waiting on her voicemail, and he regrets leaving all of them. So then he has to like sneak into her house and steal the voicemail or whatever, the message machine, so that she doesn't hear them. So it was kind of a situation like that. I knew all the messages were sitting there waiting for her to open them up. And I was Googling, can you delete Snapchat messages? And the answer was a resounding no. And I'm like, fuck. And I'm trying to delete the fucking messages that I sent, and it's not letting me because you can't delete them. So then I'm like, I unfollow her, I block her. Oh my god! I unfollow her, I block her, I re-add her. The messages, then the messages are still there, and I'm like, this was just a spiral of retardedness and giant mistake. And it's like, how do I can't fix this now. It's out there. It's like if you send a text messages, there's no way to like bring them back, which there should be, in my opinion. There should be a way to bring those messages back or delete them before that person wakes up in the morning. And I just felt like such a complete fucking idiot. And I was like, fuck this. Fuck Snapchat. I can't believe you can't delete messages on there. Fuck them and their shitty fucking company. And then she could see that I deleted her and re-added her, see all these messages when she wakes up. So I'm like, fuck that. I'm done with Snapchat. I'm done. That's it. I'm done. That's it. And I'm like, this is it. This is the last day I'm ever going to use this fucking stupid app. I'm done with it. And I was thinking, a grown man, like a grown man who's like a real adult man and a mature man and like a real person, like a real adult man, is he going to be using Snapchat? And I'm like, no, he's not. So fuck this app. This is for kids and girls. I'm done with it. And I mean, she woke up and read all the stuff I sent and then didn't respond and just left it. And I was like, fuck this. This is so dumb. She left it. She didn't respond to it, but it's out. It's there. It's like everything's up there. Everything's been said and shouldn't have been and all this shit. And I'm like, this is my last day on Snapchat. I'm done after this. So that whole day, I went to work. I fucking went to lunch. I went home. And I was posting videos on Snapchat saying, this is it for me. I'm done. Last day on this app. And I was listening to this song called Erase Your Social by Lil Uzi Vert. And I was like, and he was like, in the song, he's like, I don't got no Snapchat, homie, and erase your social. And I was like, fuck yeah, dude. And I made it this whole like going out party of this whole retirement party from me from Snapchat throughout the day, posting videos being like, this is it. This is done. 4 more hours left and I'm done off Snapchat. And I just kept playing that little Uzi Vert song all day. And I was like, I'm done. To this day, since that day, I have never posted on Snapchat. Since that day, I still do use it for messaging though. So I think I deleted it from my phone, and then I re-added it, I re-downloaded it, but I never posted on there again. I still just use it for messaging purposes, but I'll never post to my story again. And fuck Snapchat for doing that. This is where we're almost at with TikTok. It's time to just fucking rip the chains and throw the chains on the ground and say, fuck you, I'm done, and just walk away. And I know I'm going to bring this back up with Erick, and I know I'm going to be met with a fucking truckload of disagreement and whatever, and I'm going to be hearing, it's your algorithm, bro. It's your algorithm. Dude, it's your algorithm. Your mom's algorithm. Fuck off. It's terrible. There's no more originality. There's no more uniqueness. 1 in 50 makes me laugh. Is it worth scrolling through the other 49 shit videos to find one that's going to make you laugh? No, it's not. It's not. It's done. And then ask yourself, would your idol or who you want yourself to be, or someone you look at and say, you know, that's what I should aspire to be like. Does that person fucking use TikTok for 2-3 hours a day? Fuck no, they don't. I can tell you they don't, because that's retarded. Do I still do it? Not for 2-3 hours, but yeah, for half an hour. So what? So it's stupid, and it's for little kids. And we need to start the campaign of dropping it, in my opinion. Someday an app will come along, just like with Vine, just like with MySpace, just like with everything else, that will replace TikTok, and TikTok will be old news. And we'll be hearing people in the nursing home, 40 years from now saying, remember TikTok? And I'm going to say, yeah, I do remember TikTok. Those were crazy times. Crazy times. And I can't wait for the next thing to come along to get TikTok the fuck out of here. The Chinese app with a name that makes no fucking sense, and a plethora of unoriginality and stupid people trying to make more stupid people angry, and Brad getting caught in the crossfire of all of it. Titties bouncing around, stupid people saying stupid stuff, people doing stuff that's not funny, and I'm just getting hit with bullets from every fucking direction. Bang, 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 bang. And it's time to just be done with it all, in my opinion. And I know Erick's not going to like that. And I know everyone that's listening to this isn't going to like that. But guess what? I'm not going to delete it. What I need is I need someone to delete it with me. I need, accountability or whatever. Like, I'm not just gonna go to the gym. I need like a gym buddy. I need a delete TikTok buddy. I need someone to delete it with me. So we're gonna find that person sometime soon, and then we're gonna be deleting the fuck out of that TikTok app, and it's gonna feel so good. Maybe Eric will do it with me because he's wanting to, be more productive or whatever, and not just be like lazy. So maybe I can convince him to fucking delete it with me, and we'll be fucking smooth sailing from here on out. And it'll be great. So stay tuned for that. I think the only other thing I have is this Kanye West documentary that I've been watching on Netflix. It's 3 episodes long. The 3rd episode isn't out yet, but the first 2 episodes are, and it was really, really good. I watched them both yesterday. I just fucking watched both of them back to back. Loved it. But, of course, I'm someone who loves Kanye West already, so I was going into it like already loving the guy. We've talked on this show a lot about music docs. We brought up the Eagles, the band The Eagles music documentary that's really good. I've brought up Supersonic about Oasis that I thought was so good, and I want to rewatch that documentary someday. I'm going to. It's such a good fucking documentary. And obviously the Beatles Get Back docu-series that was so good. This one's up there. It's not better than the Beatles Get Back, but it's up there. And just, you see the final product, what it is today, as in him. And, he's polarizing, and he's polarizing. You either love him or you hate him. But to then go back to, the early 2000s, and back even further than that, and see, how this person came to be the final product today, it's fascinating. And it's really interesting, and I just thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved seeing those early days, those and what the state of, hip-hop was in the early 2000s and how Kanye came about. I thought it was great, and I'm excited to watch the 3rd episode. I hope the 3rd episode, when we sort of ended in the 2nd episode, we're still in the year like 2004, 2005. So I'm hoping this 3rd episode kind of brings us right up here to the present day. Anyway, I thought it was really good, and if you can handle it, I suggest watching it because I enjoyed it. But I love him already. I mean, I have a poster on my wall of Kanye albums. My desktop background on this computer is pictures of Kanye albums. I just think he's really good artist. And people give him shit for things other than music, which I've always been able to separate the artist from the music. And I'm so grateful that I can do that. So I don't really care about anything other than the music. Of course, it's fascinating to see like behind the music, like the behind the scenes of how the music came about, studio sessions and meetings and stuff like that. That's really interesting. He's a polarizing figure that's lasted 20 years in the spotlight, and he's like the lightning rod, I feel like, for a lot of artists. He's like the first sort of cowboy over the hill, if you will, that takes a bunch of the arrows, where a bunch of artists or public figures get to sit back and sort of watch Kanye go out and do something, and then they get to pick it apart and say, I liked this, I didn't like this, he did this poorly, he did that poorly, but he did that good, and then they get to sort of build their own methods off of that. And in a lot of industries, I think in a lot of areas of life, there's those people that just have to just run over the hill and be the first guy out there, the first person to do something and basically do it and look like an idiot doing it. And then everybody else gets to adjust their approach based off of that. So I think by being that person, you look like an idiot a lot of times. But at the same time, he feels like he's stepping down a road for the first time and then other people get to adjust off that. I don't even know. I think I'm talking crazy. I don't even know what any of that means. But Kanye doc, very good. I haven't watched the second season of Euphoria yet. I think we've talked about it on the show. I don't know. The second season of Euphoria, which is on HBO, the final episode airs this Sunday, and I haven't watched the second season yet. On TikTok, fucking half the videos are fucking people talking about the show Euphoria. And I watched the first season like 3 years ago. Loved it. So good. But I've been waiting to watch the second season until it's done and I can just binge the whole goddamn thing in a day. So I'm going to do that this weekend and then have the final episode come out Sunday night. Looking forward to that. Euphoria, great, crazy-ass show. Crazy-ass show. Very good show. Hang on, I'm going to step away for one more second. Okay, I'm back again. Just a couple more things here to finish up before we wrap it up. Just a couple random things. 2 weeks ago, I went down kind of a crazy rabbit hole and got crazy obsessed with the movie Apocalypse Now. On Netflix, there's Apocalypse Now Redux on Netflix. It's a movie that came out, I don't remember when, I think in the 70s. And the Redux is a movie, it came out in the early 2000s, which is just an extra 40 minutes of the film. So the Apocalypse Now Redux is like 3 hours and 20 minutes long or something. And I'm like, I want to watch this. And I've seen it multiple times, but I'm like, I want to watch this again. So I watched it, and I'm like, fuck, goddamn, it's such a good fucking movie, and I love it so much. And then did some Googling and realized that it's actually based off a novel called Heart of Darkness. And it's ranked, for the greatest books of all times, it's ranked like number 41 or something like that. And it's a book about, it's based in Africa. It's where they assign this British guy to, there's like it's hard to explain. It's like a guy who's like a trader, or like trading things, not like a trader, but like he like trades things or something. Like he went down to Africa. This guy went down to Africa to collect like elephant tusks or something like that. And then he'd gone like AWOL, and he was like not communicating back with Britain. And they'd been hearing stories of him doing crazy shit down there. So they send this guy on a boat down the river to find this employee who's just gone AWOL and gone crazy. And that's sort of the novel of Heart of Darkness. And Apocalypse Now is based off that story, except takes place in the Vietnam War. And the whole time, the interesting thing is that it's not just a two-dimensional journey of this guy going to find this other guy who's gone crazy. It's supposed to be like, as he gets closer to finding the guy, the whole thing is like a journey into self, where he's physically going down a river deep into the jungle to find someone, but at the same time it's like he's journeying deeper into his own mind, kind of thing. But Apocalypse Now takes place in the Vietnam War, where there's a general or a colonel, Colonel Kurtz, who has gone off the edge and he is no longer acting as a part of the United States military. He's sort of acting on his own volition, and he's slaughtering Vietnamese people and making people worship him and building his own like compound thing, and has sort of just lost his mind. So they find this guy who's played by Martin Sheen, Charlie Sheen's father, and they say, we need you to go find Colonel Kurtz and kill him with extreme prejudice or whatever. You cannot talk about this mission. We're sending you on this mission to kill him and stop this, because he's no longer acting like in the guides of the United States military. So Martin Sheen gets a small crew together, gets a boat, and goes on this long journey up a river as sort of and that's why Eric's like, I don't like war movies. I'm like, it's barely a war movie. There's very little actual battling or war activity going on. They're driving past the killing and past the war up a river to find this Colonel Kurtz, and the whole time it's more like journey into self. That's the whole premise, and it's just a fascinating movie. It's a fascinating story. It's so good because as he gets closer to finding Colonel Kurtz, they give him a folder of information about the guy. Oh, he graduated from this many schools. He's completed this many like certifications, got this so many medals or whatever. And he's like reading about the colonel that he's going to find that's gone crazy, and he slowly starts to like admire him and like become very connected to this guy as he's doing this. And it's sort of like it's almost like he's not even actually physically going into the jungle to find this guy. He's diving deep into his own mind to try to tackle this issue, and he starts to just be like, I don't know what I'm going to even do when I find him, because he can kind of relate to the guy, like, oh, the guy was presented with this and then he reacted this way. He's like, well, I understand that this war is crazy, like you lose yourself in war, and sort of starts to relate to the guy, starts to admire the guy, doesn't know what he's going to do when he finds the guy. He has no idea, and he's just doing this whole thing. Very fascinating. The 2019 movie Ad Astra with Brad Pitt, which I was a big fan of, is honestly based off of Heart of Darkness as well, and it's sort of like an Apocalypse Now / Heart of Darkness, but in space, where he's journeying deep, deep into space to Neptune, I believe, to find his father, who has gone crazy and is now acting on his own, not acting with NASA. And the whole thing sort of just a deep dive into himself at the same time. So I watched Apocalypse Now Redux. I watched Ad Astra. And then there's a documentary about Apocalypse Now, which I watched, which was super fascinating. A documentary about the movie being made, and you learn that Martin Sheen was like 36 years old when he did it. He had a heart attack while doing it. Filming had to be shut down for 3 weeks because the crew, the director, the actors, everybody sort of went through their own Apocalypse Now, sort of started to go crazy themselves trying to get this movie filmed, and honestly took a toll on Martin Sheen, where he ended up having a heart attack at 36 because of the demands of making this film. And you learn in the opening scene of that movie is one of the most iconic opening scenes of all time, where he's alone in his hotel room and he's fucked up on acid or alcohol or something, and he's just going crazy, tearing his hotel room apart. While they were filming it, he was actually really fucking drunk while they filmed it, and he punches a mirror, his hands all bloody. He's sort of just acting insane. They had like guys there standing in front of the director because they didn't know if he was going to start attacking people in the room or attack the camera, and they just kept filming, and they were like, cut, and then they were like, wait, just keep filming, and they were just letting him do his own thing of just sort of tearing this room apart and just losing his fucking mind. And he was fucked up during it. You could see, like, the behind the scenes in the documentary, you're like, this guy is fucking blackout drunk. But they were just kept filming, and he's bleeding everywhere, all over the bed and stuff. And you're like, this is insane. And it was a great documentary. So I watched Apocalypse Now, watched the documentary about the making of Apocalypse Now, watched Ad Astra, and then I was Googling Heart of Darkness, the novel, and realized that in the mid-90s, which was after Apocalypse Now had been made, there's a TV movie made about Heart of Darkness called Heart of Darkness. It was a TV movie with Tim Roth, who we love. He was in Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, the Quentin Tarantino movie where they go to the fucking snowy cabin, Hateful Eight, and in Pulp Fiction, he was the guy in the opening scene in the diner talking to the girl, being like, we're going to rob this diner. So it was with Tim Roth and with John Malkovich, who I love. He played the crazy guy in the jungle. And it was this shitty TV movie made in the mid-90s, And I was like, I gotta watch this too. And it was more of a direct translation of the book as opposed to, you know, Ad Astra in space or Apocalypse Now in the jungle. It was a more, you know, direct translation of the book where it was about in the jungles of Africa going to find the guy who had been harvesting all these elephant tusks or whatever they're called. And so I was trying to find that on the internet, and I'm pretty good at finding movies on the internet, you know, and downloading them. And but I couldn't find this one. It was like a fucking white whale, like Moby Dick. I was like, I can't find this movie, and I had found out that it had never been put on DVD. It had never been manufactured onto DVDs. It was put on Laserdisc or something like that. So the fact that it had never been manufactured on DVD made it impossible to find on the internet today, because it's harder. It was a lot harder for anyone to upload it. But I like a good challenge. I love a challenge of trying to find something online, because I'll fucking find it. I will not rest until I find it. Oh, I found that shit. I found it. It wasn't easy, but I found it. So I watched that. Wasn't very good, but I appreciated it. So I just went a little wild with the whole Heart of Darkness book that's been adapted into film. Apocalypse Now clearly being the best version of it. But I just loved the whole thing where it's like a journey up a river or in space to find someone who had gone completely off the reservation. But the whole journey is more of like a journey into self than a journey to actually find the guy. So I loved it. I'm sick of fucking grocery shopping these days. I used to enjoy grocery shopping so much. I used to, you know, listen to music, listen to podcasts or talk radio, and love going to find groceries. And I fucking hate it these days. You know how people like open their fridge and they're like, there's nothing to eat in my house, even though you have a bunch of food, you're like, there's nothing to eat. That's how I feel in the grocery store. I'm like, I don't want anything in this fucking store. Like, I don't know what to eat. I can't think of anything. And I just dread it. I went and bought a new pair of jeans today. And I feel like when guys go to buy jeans or pants, that you're just going to find something that's as close to what you're finding a replacement, because like these are ripping like right in the crotch, so these are no good anymore. So I need to go find a new pair of jeans, and my whole goal is to find the identical pair of what I'm already wearing. You don't want to go like crazy outside the box. So I'm like, what's the brand and what's the size? I'm trying to find the exact same thing of what I already have. I feel like that applies for like all guys. Like girls might go to buy clothes and want to find new things because they hate what they have in their closet, so they want to find new clothes. I feel like guys a lot of times are just trying to replace clothes with what has now been damaged that they bought 5 years ago. Obviously, everything doesn't apply to that, like shoes or hoodies or something. But like jeans specifically, I feel like you're just trying to replace an identical with an identical version of what you had before. You're not trying to like find something new. Like, give me the identical fucking version of what I already have. Just a thought. I don't know. Let's go back to some music and fucking end this bad mamma jamma. I'm going to play some Halo. I'm going to watch season 2 of Euphoria and catch up. And yeah, I'm just going to hang out. Football's over. And we got through the Super Bowl, which is never an easy task. It's always sad after it's gone. I've talked on this show about how Hunter S. Thompson killed himself like 2 days after the Super Bowl, and the title of his suicide note was "Football Season's Over." Hunter S. Thompson, who we admire very much, but we've got through it, and now no more football till September, and it's okay. I'm fine with it. I'm feeling a lot better about it. I'm excited for the break. I'm excited for the weather to fucking finally maybe start warming up at some point. Jesus, God, let the summer fucking come. Please! Fuck the cold and fuck the snow. Fuck you. Episode 79. Erick and Brad Show.
Yeah.
Erick should be back at some point. I ain't worried.
Marvin Divine.
What up?
I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done.
Thanks for everyone that's listening. I know we're way off with our postings, but that's okay. I don't care, and I want you to not care either. Don't worry about it. Maybe it'll get back on track. Life takes priority. It does. It's not even close.
The grass ain't green on the other side, no. You did me dirty for the last time, so now I gotta say goodbye.
But thanks for tuning in today. God, I can't wait for fucking Batman, dude. It's gonna be so fucking good. Oh, I can't wait. It's been so long since I've been excited about a movie. I was excited for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I was pretty excited for it. I wasn't this excited, but I was pretty excited. Alright, episode 79, Erick and Brad Show. ErickandBradShow@gmail.com. ErickandBradShow@gmail.com. I'm not going to have any topics next week because I fucking ran through them all, but we're going to get on Erick hard about TikTok next week. I'm going to get on his ass hard about TikTok. I feel like I can convince him. So we'll see how that goes. See how that goes over. All right, thanks everybody. Peace out.
Ain't even tripping, cause I just chose to believe that somebody gon' come around and give me just what I need. I don't wanna see you finding, see you looking down and out, coming to me crying, saying you miss having me around. Gave you chances and you blew it. You so easily influenced. All the times you told me beat it, now you gotta face the music.